Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. We are back again, yet with another exciting project, which is BioFi. So, community, firstly, welcome to our AMA session. Just a quick disclaimer, any of these conversation, don't take it as a financial advice, do your own due diligence. Now, we are going to focus on BioFi Biometrics and the Ethos Metaverse in this conversation. Both of these products are integral for financial ecosystem. Now, today you will be hearing from Chris, Stephen, Tyler from the BioFi team. I'm very excited to open this conversation today and looking forward from hearing from the team on this important range of questions. So, Chris, Stephen, Tyler, could you please come on board and introduce yourself?
Terrific. Thank you, Akshay. My name is Chris Benedict. I'm a co-founder at the BioFi Project. Glad to be here today. We're so excited to always do these with LATOKEN. It's a great audience. So we want to take a second and just thank your audience and everyone for joining us, for taking the time to learn a little bit more about the BioFi Project. We think you'll find it's exciting. And afterwards, if you have more questions that we don't answer today, you can always reach out to us through our channels, which we'll talk about today. But at a high level, what I wanted to share with people who are new to the BioFi project is BioFi is short for Biometric Financial, and we're really all about bringing better authentications and better security to information and financial transactions. So again, BioFi stands for Biometric Financial. Now our background is in biometric authentications and security. I'll pause there and hand it to Stephen.
All right, perfect. Now, maybe Stephen, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, it's great to meet everyone again. Really looking forward to digging deeper into our project and sharing as much information as we can. So I'm Stephen Fitzpatrick. I'm based here in Ireland, and I run our sales operations globally here for the team at BioFi. So all the relationships, the ecosystem, all the partners that we're bringing into that, so they all fall under my remit. So yeah, it's great. Looking forward to sharing as much as we can and getting more details out to all their investors out there.
All right, perfect. Tyler, over to you.
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here. My name's Tyler. I'm like an Ethos project manager over at BioFi. Kind of handle a lot of the NFTs in the metaverse side of it, of Biometric Financial. I've been doing it for a little, almost about a year now, and I've been really enjoying it, having a lot of fun. We've got some good things to talk about today.
All right, perfect. So now I have a follow-up questions to you guys. So firstly, could you please maybe explain how biometrics and metaverse fit together in BioFi ecosystem?
Sure, Tyler, you want to jump on that and I'll finish and I'll take anything else?
Yeah, so the biometrics can serve as a way to, let's talk a little bit more about the metaverse. The metaverse is a lot of different avenues it can go down, both through just gaming, through education, through entertainment. And some of these ways involve like in-world economies or, like I said, certifications for things. And the biometrics allow us to certify pretty much that whoever's coming in and doing these things, whether it's certifications for education or kind of like the in-game economy with, like, you know, if you own a billboard in the world, you could advertise on it. Or if you own a museum, you could have one of your artist friends take it for the weekend. And the biometrics allow us to prove that whoever is doing this is who they say they are.
All right.
Yeah, and what I'll add to that is that's great, Tyler. That's the metaverse itself. When we take it and expand and just go at a little bit of a higher level, we are building out the BioFi ecosystem for people to join, for other providers. We call them providers, to bring their solutions to the BioFi community. What that allows us to do is get their solutions in, get them secured by biometrics, so that when the users in our community come in, they know that their information is protected and the access to their information is protected. That's really what we're all about. We want to make sure that people feel secure, and whatever the solutions are in the metaverse itself, like Tyler said, whether it's education or entertainment, we'll talk a little bit about a project that we have going that will allow people to become certified in the HVAC field by using our metaverse. We're working on a training program with one of the biggest training providers in the world right now. And people will be able to actually get their certifications and practice repairs and things of that nature in the metaverse before they actually go out in the field.
Wow, wow. And like following up with that, can you provide insights into how these providers of the ecosystem leverage your seed product itself?
Sure, we have some seed products that we brought to the market. Stephen, I don't know if you want to jump in on any of that, if you want to talk about them.
Yeah, we've got some really interesting projects out there. We've got a great provider in Ghana called Tel Solutions, and Tel Solutions are running our biometrics through their mobile money application. So that mobile money application is it's a vast way of people buying, using, and getting paid via the telecom side of things, where they can't traditionally get bank accounts. They can't traditionally get a Visa, MasterCard that we take for granted in the Western world. So these guys have mobile money platforms that are based in the kind of the Western Cape of Africa, between Nigeria down to Ghana, and they're currently rolling that out to their many users. About 2.5 million users should be up and running on it fairly shortly. But what they've also got then as well, they've got other companies that in other industries that they can actually go into, whether that's agriculture, whether that's fintech, and they're bringing this out to their other clients out there. One of our partners in South Africa, Providence Software, are working within the telco and financial services space for us. And they're going to be shortly bringing some good news to the market for us as well. But their applications are great. So they have clients that have an actual need for extra security levels or more simplified user experience in the actual security sector. So by using our SATEC solution, which is the biometric, which will give you voice and face recognition, it allows them to simplify their solutions, because everybody's mobile based, and then obviously then it adds an extra layer of security for these people. So there's some wonderful aspects that we have, and of course there are other applications and other users and other partners that we have in our ecosystem throughout the world. But these are kind of two that we've mentioned quite extensively over the last kind of 6 to 12 months, and they're the most mature of all our partners as well, and they're bringing in real business, real revenue, and they continue to grow their pipeline for our security side of our business.
All right. So now maybe this, Chris, this question would be to you. Like these big tech companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, the FAANG companies have enormous market power and control vast amount of the data. So this gives them an unfair advantage over similar competitors, making it difficult for smaller businesses to compete in the same space. So could you please also explain that how some of the different, what's the difference between biotech, these big biotech company, biometrics companies, and BioFi Biometrics?
That's a great question, and that's something we love to talk about, because that's where one of the areas where we really differentiate and where we shine, especially in the Web3 world.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing to know is that big tech takes your data and monetize it. We all know that. We all know that Facebook, Google, Microsoft, they take your information and they use it. Doesn't matter what information you give them, they are going to use it and monetize it one way or another. At BioFi, what we promise, the commitment we've made to the community, is that we will never use your shopping information, your biometric information, any of that, and we will never resell it. So we will protect it, and we believe that the person who comes into the ecosystem owns their biometric data, and they should have full control of it. So the only time that should be monetized is if they agree to give that information to someone, their shopping behavior as an example, to use for discounts, benefits, things of that nature. So really the individual is in control. That's the first piece, is just how we view biometrics and who owns it. The other piece is how we execute the actual biometric solution. Now take a look at, Google and Apple as an example, right? Their devices come with biometrics on them. The difference between what we do is, if you're a provider, say you're a bank or you're a mobile money system like Steven's talking about, you now have to get solutions from 2 different providers, okay? And when we talk about Africa specifically, it's not the West. People can't afford to go out and buy a new phone on a regular basis. So the phones tend to be older than they do in the West.
Yep.
Apple, I believe, can only supports their face biometrics back to iPhone 10. Our biometrics go way back to iPhone 5 and even further. So the difference there is we have a solution for both iOS, Android. We also have web-based, but we can operate on devices that are much older than the big tech does. So we can cover more users than they do based on our solution.
Wow. That's fantastic. Now, like moving on, so how can the community get more involved in the metaverse? So maybe Tyler, you can take this question.
Yeah, for sure. So to get into the metaverse, you are going to need an Ethos Moondoge, which is BioFi's kind of flagship NFT. You can get them at ethosmetaverse.net. You can also download the metaverse at ethosmetaverse.net. It is in the beta form right now. You start off, it's a by the way, Ethos Metaverse is a realistic space metaverse built on Unreal Engine. So it's a very, very strong gaming engine. There's very high quality metaverse. You start off on Titan in space, which is one of Saturn's moons. And so once you get your dog, you can pop in there. You can start exploring the metaverse. We've got a couple of different buildings in there. There's a chat feature so you can talk to anybody else who's in the metaverse. And then once you have that Ethos NFT as well, that Ethos Moondoge, it allows you access to, not only the metaverse, the arcade room that's it's also in our metaverse. It has a couple carnival style mini games that you can play around. We also have like a zombies game, which is kind of like Call of Duty if there's any gamers watching. And then we also have our third party. There's a third party racing called Open Racing, where you can take your NFT, you can put it against 8 other dogs, and you have a chance to win some AVAX. So you pay an entry fee to get in. If you come in first place in your race, then you win some AVAX. So there's a couple of different things you can do with your NFT aside from just getting into the metaverse. So it's kind of you get a total package. You can get into the metaverse, you can play some games, you can compete against other dogs, and you can earn some money. So there's a lot of different things you can do. And then, like I said, once you have that, you got access for anything else that we're coming out with in the metaverse. All you need is that dog. That's your key in.
Oh, okay. All right. And now, following up with the same question, so how does the community get more involved with the BioFi project and with the providers, of course? So Chris, maybe you can answer this.
Oh, sure. We love to talk to providers, and we have conversations all the time with new people who are investigating becoming part of the BioFi community or the Ethos Metaverse. There's a lot of ways they can get in touch with us. We have very active communication channels on Twitter and Telegram. Telegram might be the better channel because it's much more active and engaging for discussions back and forth. Our handle there is BioFi Community. So come on in. We have great moderators. We have a great community who will answer questions for you. We actually have a referral program in place that was suggested by one of our community members, where if you refer a company to us and they become part of the BioFi ecosystem, you can earn BioFi. And also there's always our website. There's our website where you can reach out to us and PM us. And we're happy to have conversations. Steven does a lot. In fact, Steven does a ton of outreach on a daily basis to bring new people in. So I'll let him talk about that a little bit. But we have a lot of channels to get engaged, and we would love to talk to people.
Wow. All right. So, Steven, maybe you want to add something?
Yeah, so we're actively always looking for new providers, new regions. We are working on expanding that reach throughout. Obviously we'd like to have somebody in every country throughout the world. That is what the aim is. We're actively in Europe at the minute, having some discussions with some partners there, bringing them up to speed and growing it from there. We're also actively in the Middle East. We're hopefully looking at some stuff in the Far East as well, kind of into the Asia part of the world as well. So yeah, we're always looking for people. So like, again, anybody that is interested in becoming a partner or wants to come into our ecosystem, by all means, come through our Twitter or our Telegram, or just drop us an email from the website. There's always people ready to have a conversation. We're talking to new vendors and new clients every day. We're able to talk to people anytime, 24/7 nearly, with the way our clock works. So by all means, reach out to us.
All right, perfect. Now let's move to the second phase of this AMA session, guys. We have some questions from the LATOKEN users, and maybe you guys can answer them. So now, the first question is to you, Chris. So what's the motivation behind the project? I mean, what motivated you to start this project?
Sure, it's a great question, and I mentioned a little bit about that earlier. But we come from a payments background. The founders the founders come from payments and security. We have a great Web3 team that has joined us. So we have the best of both worlds, if you want. We have TradeFi and we have DeFi, and we put them together in a way that makes perfect sense, and we work very well together. But the motivation for the project really was, as we were working in the security space, in the authentication space, we began to get more involved, engaged with people in Web3. And we kept hearing the same story from everyone, that we need better security. We need a way to protect people's identities, not like big tech. We don't want things monetized. And we wanted to be able to support the Web3 anonymity where it exists. Web3 is nothing, the blockchain, but it's nothing without the anonymity, right? That's what people want. So we're able to secure their access points, and only they have access to that information. So it's really a great fit, what we already have to bring to the table, that just fits very nicely in the Web3 and the blockchain world.
Wow. And guys, what's your vision for BioFi, and how does it differentiate itself from the other projects in DeFi ecosystem?
Yeah, I'll just continue with that if that's okay, guys, because I talked about it a little bit. We differentiate because of the strong team we have. Our advisors, as well as our team, have very deep backgrounds in payments or in Web3. So we can bring different perspectives together and make sure that we come together with solutions that work today. The important part, I'll say again, is that we do not share people's data. We won't. That's a promise that we make. And when people come into the ecosystem, they can be sure that that's the way it's going to be. And by the way, our providers who come into the ecosystem, they have to believe that as well, and they have to maintain that belief and that practice, that they will not sell and use people's information. So people can come in, they can feel secure, they can take advantage of all the ecosystem has to offer. And one of the things that I didn't touch on yet that I want to make sure I do is BioFi is a utility token. So everything you hear us talking about, whether it's the SATEC biometrics, whether it's the metaverse with the NFTs, the metaverse with the education efforts, the mobile money platforms that Steven's discussing, all of those end up bringing utility into the ecosystem. And that's what it's all about, driving value and utility to the people who participate. It's important to know that and not forget that.
Wow. Moving on to the last question that I have. So maybe Tyler, you can take this one. So what's the difference between, what's the relationship between BioFi and Doge? You're on mute.
I realized it as soon as I started talking. So Doge itself, Doge is a separate coin. We don't have any relation with that. But the BioFi and the Doges together is kind of like it's a way to get our community involved. As Chris mentioned a little bit before, education and entertainment are very important. And the NFTs allow us to do that. Allows us to create, events for the community to get engaged in. It allows cross-pollination between other communities and our community as well. As new providers come in, if they want an NFT in the metaverse, then we can get them an NFT in the metaverse. We can get them a planet in the metaverse. And then while people are playing, they can, bounce from planet to planet, and then they start learning about other projects. So it creates a very easy way to bring communities in and, just mix and match and get some engagement from both sides. So it works, for us, and it works for whoever's coming in. And then, like I said, it's just a way for the community to have some fun, earn some rewards, and then they get to play with a cool little dog while they're doing it. So it's just a good time.
Wow, fantastic. And guys, before we wrap this up, like anything else you guys want to add on to this? So maybe any message to your community or our community?
Steven and Tyler, I'll let you guys go first because I have a couple comments, but I want to make sure I give you a chance.
Cool. I'll start it off. I just want to say thank you for having us. We appreciate it. Always like coming out and kind of talking about the project, BioFi, dogs, everything. Like I come from a background of NFTs and metaverses and stuff. So I get really excited talking about what we can do in the future of it. So thank you. I want to appreciate it. Appreciate you for letting us come up here and chat. And if anybody does have any, they want to deep dive the metaverse a little bit, ethosmetaverse.net's got some great information on it. You can always reach out to us in Telegram and Discord, on our Twitter. Always happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Perfect.
Likewise, I just want to clarify, just to let people know that there is real utility out there. The BioFi is backed up with our SayTech, with the rest of our products that we actually have out there that are actually live out there in the world. They are revenue generating. They are enhancing other products that are out there, such as mobile money and various different applications that are we're actually out in. So from a utility point of view, obviously the BioFi token has all that with our blockchain being reused across in a lot of use cases. So it's a really, really good project to be involved in. So yeah, great. Thanks for listening.
All right, perfect. Now, Chris, over to you.
Thanks, guys. Just to add to what Steven was saying, we have an easy way to check out what we do. Biometric authentication means different things to everybody. So I would encourage everyone, go to either the App Store or the Google Play Store and download our crypto wallet. It's obviously free. It's on the store. It's called the Cryptic Wallet, KRPTIC. Go check it out. It's got the biometrics built into it. It's a great user-friendly, secure wallet. And you get the chance to play around with the biometrics. We've built it specifically so that the user can decide whether to use voice and face in combination, which we recommend because it looks at the most data points and we consider it the most secure solution. But you can also use it just with face identification or just with voice. So go check it out. You'll see how simple it is to enroll, how simple it is to use it, and you'll get a feel for what our solution, SayTech, is capable of doing. So please do that. Other than that, I'll wrap up with, please keep an eye on our channels, Twitter, Telegram. Sign up if you haven't signed up yet. Over the next 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to see a flurry of announcements of things that we have going on, including new partnerships, new providers, providers who are bringing their NFTs into the ecosystem so they can be part of the racing that Tyler was talking about. There's just a huge number of opportunities that we're going to be able to talk about. I won't tease them specifically. I'll keep myself out of trouble. But there is a lot going on over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So please stay tuned and you'll see what the utility is and how it continues to build. So thank you, everybody, for having us today and spending some time with us.
All right. Thanks, Chris, Stephen, Tyler. Thanks for joining in. So our community knows the drill. They're going to follow us on Twitter, Telegram, and check out all your channels, and you guys can keep them posted. So now, thanks for coming in again. You guys have a good day.
Thanks, Akshay. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, guys.